You're watching FISM News.
The hospitality industry has taken a major hit worldwide from the coronavirus-induced travel bans. U.S. hotel operator Marriott missed already lowered estimates for first quarter profit by a huge margin on Monday. In line with Holiday Inn owner IHG's announcement last week, the company said its bookings in Greater China improved in April as the world's second-largest economy gradually reopened for business. The COVID-19 pandemic has led thousands of vacationers and business travelers to cancel bookings and stay at home to contain the spread of the deadly virus. Analysts had expected Marriott to earn 80 cents per share on revenue of $4.03 billion, according to IBES data from Refinitiv. You can see more on the numbers by going to our website or by using our app. The city of Wuhan, China, is saying it is experiencing its first cluster of infections since a lockdown on the city was lifted a month ago. Wuhan reported 5 new confirmed cases, all from the same residential compound. China does not include asymptomatic cases in its overall tally of confirmed cases until they exhibit signs of infection. On another note, the National Health Authority called for stronger protocols at laboratories handling samples of coronavirus strains and human nucleic acid tests, and said tests should be carried out under appropriate laboratory settings.
Workers at meat processing plants across the country continue to fall ill with coronavirus. U.S. President Donald Trump ordered plants to stay open to protect the nation's food supply, yet the plants have increasingly been exporting to China, while U.S. consumers face shortages, according to a Reuters analysis of Department of Agricultural data. Across the U.S. industry, there have been about 5,000 infections and 20 deaths, according to the CDC. Trump invoked the 1950 Defense Production Act on April 28th to keep plants open. Now some lawmakers, citizens, and plant employees are pushing back against putting workers at risk, in part to help ensure China's meat supply. Mike Naig is the Agriculture Secretary in the top U.S. pork-producing state of Iowa. Naig supported Trump's order and is now saying, "We know that over time, exports are critically important. I think we need to focus on meeting domestic demand at this point." According to government data, pork supplies have tightened by about 40% since mid-March. However, shipments of American pork to China more than quadrupled over the same time period.
The World Bank estimates the coronavirus impact will likely cause the first increase in global poverty since 1998. The International Monetary Fund says it projects advanced economies will contract by around 6% in 2020, while emerging markets and developing economies will contract by 1%. The fund also added that low and middle income countries will suffer the greatest consequences in terms of extreme poverty. Breaking the numbers down at the country level, the 3 with the largest estimated spike in poverty are India, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Nigeria. Looking at the forecast of the pandemic's impact on slightly higher poverty rates, a projected 100 million people will be pushed into living on less than $3.20 or $5.50 per day.
On Wednesday, the U.S. Supreme Court began hearing a dispute involving the Electoral College system. The litigation questions whether electors that decide the winner of U.S. presidential elections are free to disregard laws directing them to uphold their state's popular vote. If enough electors do so, it could upend an election. The justices were hearing 2 closely watched cases, one from Colorado and the other one from Washington State. The example cases involve so-called faithless electors who did not vote for Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton in 2016, even though she won the popular vote in their states. The justices must then decide if states can penalize faithless electors with actions such as monetary fines or removal from the roll.
This week, the WHO said that European countries need to stay vigilant and prepare their health systems in case this new coronavirus becomes more prominent. As many cities started to ease their lockdown restrictions, the WHO Regional Director for Europe, Hans Klug, warned that health systems need to be reinforced as this virus could become seasonal like other viruses within the same group, such as the flu. He called on governments to listen to the public and adjust their measures as emergency fatigue was spreading, while at the same time asking citizens to behave responsibly. Klug also added that the main COVID concern for Europe is now focused in the eastern part of the continent.
Countries across the world are encouraging or enforcing social distancing efforts. Meanwhile, Indonesia is taking a more lighthearted approach. Volunteers dressed as Superman and Spider-Man spray disinfectant flanking a colleague wearing the winged helmet of local superhero Gatot Kaca, who shouted, "Wear masks, wash hands, and stay alert." The trio handed out masks, containers of hand sanitizer, and bamboo slit drums while demonstrating how to correctly wash hands and don masks. On a neighboring Indonesian island, volunteers dressed as Deadpool, Black Panther, and a local superhero called Bima X. They held up placards that read, "Stay home and get well soon, Earth." The Southeast Asian nation has reported more than 11,000 infections and 845 deaths. Though due to a slow early response and low testing rates, medical experts worry there could be far more cases.
This week, the CDC issued guidelines to help schools and workplaces determine whether they are ready to open for business. It provided 6 decision trees that cover yes or no scenarios to help assess readiness for opening an establishment or public facility. The tools stress listening to state and local health officials. They are intended to help business owners develop the best policies for their employees in these unprecedented times. In many cases, businesses are encouraged to require employees to wear masks, and the CDC already recommends that the general public wear face coverings while in enclosed public spaces. U.S. Senator Richard Burr will step aside as chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee after a major escalation in an insider trading probe. The warrant marked a significant step up in the investigation of Burr's stock sales in mid-February, when he and other lawmakers were receiving regular briefings on the coronavirus outbreak. A senior Justice Department official said the FBI did not conduct a raid, but paid a visit to Burr's home to collect his cell phone. Approval of the warrant was obtained at the highest levels of the Justice Department, according to the official. Burr has denied wrongdoing and said he relied solely on news reports to guide decisions on stock sales. Amid reports, he and other senators sold shares after private briefings on the risk of the coronavirus crisis. He told reporters at the U.S. Capitol on Thursday he decided to step aside because he did not want the investigation to distract the Intelligence Committee from its work.
Thank you for watching. This has been FISM News.